You're lying in a hospital bed halfway around the world after you get sick on your bucket list vacation when the nurse says, "Good news, you're cleared to fly home. Bad news, it'll cost $70,000 out of pocket." Hard to believe, yet that's exactly what can happen after deciding travel insurance wasn't worth it. Today, we're diving into some real-life horror stories about what can happen if you don't have travel insurance. Trust me, these stories are eye-openers. More importantly, I'll share how to avoid becoming one of these cautionary tales with practical tips to keep your trip safe and worry-free. And stick around, because later in the video, my sidekick Max will share a jaw-dropping true story about a grandmother's dream vacation turned disaster. You won't want to miss that. Travel insurance may feel dull, but it is as essential as your passport. At our age, the risks climb, and skipping coverage can wreck far more than a vacation. Medical emergencies abroad can bankrupt you. One air evacuation from Europe to the United States cost a traveler $70,000 cash. Some overseas air ambulances run as high as $180,000. Picture being stranded. A wife broke her hip on day one in Amsterdam. With no coverage, she stayed in a foreign hospital while her husband burned money on hotels, unable to get her home. Max will soon share how one grandmother saved $3,000 by skipping insurance and now owes well over $100,000. Medicare pays nothing outside the United States, and many private plans reject foreign claims. Overseas hospitals demand payment up front, so insurance is not a luxury, it is peace of mind for your health, wallet, and family. All right, now that we know what's at stake, let's make sure you're prepared. Here are the top 5 tips to keep your dream vacation from turning into a horror story. Number 1, always get travel medical insurance with evacuation coverage. This is non-negotiable. For any trip outside your home country, and even for domestic trips far from home, purchase travel medical insurance that includes emergency medical and evacuation coverage. Medical evacuation is a must. It covers those ambulance flights or specialized transports to get you home. Without it, an air ambulance or stretcher flight could cost you anywhere from $25,000 to over $100,000 out of pocket. The good news, travel insurance isn't that expensive relative to your trip. Typically, it runs about 4 to 10% of your trip costs. For example, if you have a $5,000 cruise booked, insurance might be only a few $100s. That's a small fee for potentially millions in coverage. Many policies offer $100,000 or more in medical benefits. Think of it this way. If you can't afford travel insurance, you can't afford the trip, at least not safely. Number 2, know your coverage. Medicare won't follow you abroad. Before you leave the country, verify every inch of your coverage, because Medicare pays nothing overseas and most private plans or credit cards cover little, if anything. Buy a standalone policy that covers every leg of your trip, day 1 to homecoming. Choose at least $50,000 in emergency care. $100,000 is safer abroad, and no less than $100,000 for evacuation, enough to fund an air ambulance. Check that the insurer runs a live 24/7 hotline for doctors, translators, and flights. If you have heart disease, diabetes, or any chronic issue, buy early and secure the pre-existing condition waiver. That single checkbox can turn a denied claim into a paid one. Number 3, don't skimp on trip cancellation or interruption insurance. Medical coverage is vital, but what if something happens before you leave, or you have to cut the trip short? Trip cancellation interruption insurance refunds your prepaid trip costs if you have to cancel or return home early for a covered reason, like an unexpected illness, injury, or family emergency. Seniors often have older family members or health concerns that could derail a trip. For example, one traveler who routinely declined insurance finally bought it, and 4 days before his cruise, his brother-in-law died, forcing him to cancel. Without insurance, he would have lost $76,800 in prepaid costs. With insurance, that huge loss was avoided. Another family spent $45,000 on a dream trip to Peru and Galapagos and didn't buy insurance. When a death in the family struck, They managed to recoup about $20,000 with their travel agent's help, but still lost around $25,000 and had to postpone the trip. The lesson: if you've paid a lot up front, insure it.
Pardon the interruption, ladies and gents. Max here, Ken's favorite talking dog and travel companion. Before we continue, I want to mention the Where to Next survey. If you haven't taken it yet, please do. It's a fun little survey where you can tell us about your travel dreams and plans. Not only will you help us tailor our content to what you want to see, but you'll also be entered for a chance to win a fabulous 7-day cruise. I mean, who doesn't love a free cruise, right? So definitely check out the Where to Next survey, also to add on to number 3, if I may. If you have non-refundable airfare or cruises, etc., buy insurance early, right after booking, so you're covered if something happens before departure. And read the policy to see what reasons are covered for cancellation. You can often get cancel for any reason add-ons if you want maximum flexibility. These cost more though. I say thank you and cheerio, good chap.
Thanks, Max, for that important announcement. You heard him, folks. Help us out and maybe win a cruise for yourself. Now, back to our program. Number 4, understand what's not covered and close the gaps. Cheap policies can cut corners. One might stop at the nearest hospital instead of flying you home. Another might refuse claims from ziplining, scuba, or high-altitude hikes. Read every clause. If you're skiing, cruising, or deep in the jungle, make sure the plan covers airlifts and ship-to-shore evacuations. Remember, it pays only for unexpected emergencies, not routine checkups. And never for, I changed my mind, unless you buy cancel for any reason. Match the plan to your trip. I won't travel without emergency medical, evacuation, trip cancellation, trip interruption, and baggage loss all in one package. A few extra dollars now beats a fortune later. Number 5, keep documents and emergency info handy. Save your policy number and the insurer's 24-hour hotline in your phone and on a paper copy you keep in your wallet. Make sure your travel partner has it too. Scan passports, health records, and every receipt, like that hotel bill after a canceled flight, and store them in the cloud. Most insurers let you file claims online, but they still need proof. Enroll in the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program and jot down the nearest United States Embassy. Having all this ready turns a crisis into a minor hiccup. All right, as promised, here's the big story to bring it all home. Max, you have the honors on this one.
Okay, let me tell you about dear Patricia Bunting, a 76-year-old gran from England, flew her family to Disney World. She skipped a £2,300 travel insurance policy, about $3,000, because it seemed pricey. Near the trip's end, she collapsed with COVID-19 and pneumonia and landed in an Orlando intensive care unit. Without coverage, her hospital bills soared to £41,000, roughly $52,000. Doctors said she needed a special air ambulance home, another £41,500, about $53,000. That is more than $100,000 out of pocket, all for skipping insurance. Bottom line, travel insurance is not a luxury. It is the lifeline that saves your health and your wallet.
Thank you, Max, for narrating that. It's hard to hear, but it really drives the point home, doesn't it? Patricia's story is extreme, but it's absolutely real. And sadly, many families have gone through similar nightmares because they traveled unprotected. By now, I hope it's crystal clear, travel insurance is worth it. It's worth it for the big things, the heart attacks, accidents, storms, illnesses, and even for the smaller hassles like lost luggage or delayed flights. When you're a senior, you have to be especially careful. Our health can be more fragile, and we're often more eager than ever to explore the world in retirement. That's a wonderful thing, and I want all of us to do it safely. Thank you for watching and listening, my friends. I know it's not the cheeriest topic, but it's one of the most important for us travelers, especially those of us in our golden years. I want your journeys to be full of joy and adventure, not stress and scary surprises. So please take these stories to heart. Travel smart, ensure your trip, and then go out there and have the time of your life. Until next time, stay safe and keep exploring. And give your travel buddy, even if he's a talking dog like Max, a pat on the back for me. Goodbye and happy travels.